What is going on, guys? Jesse504 here, bringing you week 4 of the APL, and this team builder portion recorded after the battle, just a little mix-up on my part. Still, I switched recording softwares from the one that I use with my editing software to OBS, and I forgot to configure my microphone until before the battle, so yeah, that happened. But I will try my best to not spoil what the sets actually did in the draft, or actually did in the match, but I will say what they were intended for, which I hope that's what you want to hear. That's why you're here, right? But without further ado, let's get into it. And as you see on your screen right over here, there's a lovely Cinderace. We made a pair of free agent transactions. Because Libero Cinderace went undrafted, we dropped Victini and we dropped Jolteon just to make the points work. Jolteon probably wasn't coming to games. If it was, it would be to baton pass some agilities, which would be kind of scummy, but Cinderace can do that. Arguably better than Jolteon. And then there is Jolteon, who's dropped for Electivire to give me 2 more points. And Electivire itself isn't bad. I think it might be better than Jolteon because it actually has coverage as an electric type. Whoa. Yeah, so that's kind of my thoughts on those 2 moves. Do I think they'll help me out? Probably. But without further ado, let's get into my team. Starting off, we got Cinderace, Scarfed with Libero. Actually, let's go over my opponent and their team. We are facing Not Shady Kid this week. We have been in a couple leagues with him. But here he started off 1-2 compared to my 3-0. So he's definitely had a rougher start. And I know he expressed interest in making some transactions, but we got to fight this team before he ended up making them. So yeah. We see his team consists of Mega Stunfisk, Delta Crustal Cake, Zarude, Delta Ambipom, Delta Blaziken, Delta Golurk, Delta Electivire, Delta Toxicroak, Galarian Mr. Mime, and Green Ninja. So his team, a lot of Deltas, which I'm gonna be completely honest saying right now, I don't know what all of the Deltas do. You'll see me during the match be like, whoa, I did not know that could do that. And that ended up messing me up slightly, but biggest threats on his team, in my opinion, Mega Stunfisk just hits incredibly hard, as Iraz has shown me in his matches where he ended up picking up the Mega Stunfisk, and Crustle as well. The ability to go to +4 attack and speed is so powerful, and if I'm not prepped for it, I lose. But we see. Let's see what I'm bringing to try to mostly combat those 2 threats, in addition to a whole ass threatening team. And I don't know what half of the Mons do, so that made it really fun in prep. And yeah, starting things off, we got Cinderace, Scarfed, Libero ability, Jolly Nature, 32 HP, 252 attack, 224 speed. Speed was for Delta Ambipom. U-turn, Power Ball, Hydrum Kick, Gunk Shot. Pretty solid, self-explanatory set. Hits everything. He has no Pyro Ball switch-ins on his team. And yeah, this thing can just ball out all game. Really, he has no switch into it. Up next, we got my Mega Flygon. 40 in HP, again, is for the Ambipom. Or speed, rather, is for the Ambipom. And then the HP is just what we could afford. Bug Buzz, Earth Power, Scale Shot, or Convoys. So at +1 speed after a Scale Shot, we pretty much can freely clean his team. There's really no stopping my Flygon. Obviously, some of his stuff is bulky enough to take a hit or 2, but really, this Flygon is super tough to stop. And some of his scarier Mons are weak to the Flygon, and so we plan to just take full advantage of that during the game. Up next, we got Cloud Chaser, the Delta Hoopa Unbound, Twist Scarfed, Jolly Nature, U-Turn, Ice Punch, Spirit Away, and Trick. Pretty simple Scarf set. We got U-Turn for Momentum, Trick for just putting a scarf onto one of his mons that potentially would rather not have a scarf. And then Ice Punch is good all around against his team. His ice resists are kind of lackluster, being Greninja, which isn't very defensive, and Toxicroak Delta, which again isn't very defensive, so ice is pretty spammable against his team. And then Spirit Away is just an incredibly strong physical fairy move that hits all the time. So basically, if you've been playing any OU recently, you see Specs Mag. I feel like Scarf, Hoopa, while it's not a direct comparison, it's kind of doing the same thing. Momentum move, trick, stab fairy move, and a coverage option. I feel like that's kind of exactly what my Hoop is doing. Up next, we have my main check to the Crustle being Empoleon, because it's fairy and normal, both resisted by steel, and it doesn't have Earthquake or anything, so that is great for me. Defog, Flash Cannon, Scald, and Stealth Rock is the set. Does really well just handling his team. Normally, my standard Empoleon has Toxic over Flash Cannon, but I feel like I needed Flash Cannon to be able to hit the Crustle for enough to KO after rocks or spikes. And then really that's all it did. And then next up was my check to the Stunfisk, and that being my Porygon to max def with Ice Beam, Teleport, Recover, and Toxic. Really does a great job at taking those Mega Stunfisk hits and just recovering them off really well. Not a lot of things can say that they do that well, but basically Stunfisk is like a slower special Mega Metacham. That's kind of what it felt like in prep, at least, with great dual stab combo as well. But Porygon 2 I felt like was my best answer to it, because I was able to trace Athenian, which could potentially have been really funny, hitting that thing with an Ice Beam. Normally it would do between 28 and 35 if I remember correctly, but that Athenian ability turns it into a 2-shot. Just incredible. And as I said earlier, his ice switch-ins are very lackluster, and I feel like Porygon can kind of sit on them. And then lastly, we have the Delta Tangrowth, mixed defensive, more physical than special, designed with the Rough Skin ability to be able to take on a lot of his physical attackers, which, yeah, a lot of his team is physical. Pre-mock, I was water, or dry skin, but I felt that Greninja, I wouldn't want to sit on a Greninja anyways. That thing is a special behemoth, and it can just pack an Ice Beam and do a lot to me. So I really just had sort of a lot to do there. And then Body Press and Earth Power, dual stabs, solid, and then Spikes and Synthesis to wrap off the set. But I'll bring you guys the battle. Alrighty, opponent just sent us a challenge. Let's get right on into it. And we see Mime, Stunfisk Mega, Blaziken, Zarude, Golurk, and Crustle. And then as for what I want to lead, I feel like a Cinderace lead is super safe. There's nothing he can lead into this thing. Like, it all just dies. So I will gladly take make full advantage of that, whatever you want to say. But as for what he could lead, there's a lot of stuff that I could see. So it'll just be like just waiting to see what exactly he does want to lead. I could see Scarf Zarude as a potential lead, and if that's the case, he probably wouldn't expect me to be Scarf potentially, and I could just knock him out turn 1 right away. But that is probably not going to happen. Just wishful thinking on my part, really. Golurk's a reasonable lead. Blaziken's a reasonable lead. There's nothing on his team that wants to take a Pyro Ball, actually, just looking at that. Yeah, his Pyro Ball switching is non-existent. So, it'll be for sure interesting to see what exactly he wants to do with that, but let's see if I have the damage calc. Yeah, here it is. Perfect. I don't know why this stuff is so big, but it doesn't really matter. I might be like auto zoomed out on the normal calcs, but yeah, we're gonna need to reload. Alrighty, and so now we have our sets. So how much is a Cinderace doing to a Crustle? Gunk is OHKOing. I remember I calced that, but Pyro Ball's doing like 50. What about to Delta Golurk? High Jump Kick and Pyro Ball both OHKOing. What about to a Stunfisk Mega? High Jump Kick's doing around 50, so that's really his only thing that can take a hit, and then obviously to his Rude. Yeah, U-turn should just be taking that thing out. High Jump Kick as well, but yeah, everything should really just be taken out. The Zarude. Doesn't really matter. Yeah, okay. And then as for what he does, let me just make sure that Empoleon is taking less damage from a Crustle. Delta Cake. Pack in 252 attack with a Play Rough and then with a knockoff. Yeah, okay. That's not at +4. Okay. At +4, that is a problem. And we just see as a Rude lead. Yeah, this is the freest U-turn ever. Like when I say freest U-turn ever, I mean I'm clicking it and he's dying. He might be Scarf, but he's still dying. So there's that. Okay, cool. I'm fine with that. And now I can bring out my... this is interesting. So he obviously is going to get to bring in whatever he wants, but I think just bringing in my Hoopa will be the best play here. Dual Scarfers. First two things to hit the field. Let's see what his response to the Hoopa is. If it's the Golurk, I can just U-turn out again. But that's kind of funny that we just turn one. I was like, yeah, there's no way that's gonna happen. There's no way he's gonna lead Zarude and then stay in, but he did. Which lets me know he's probably Scarf, which means the Blaziken is probably not Scarf, because not many people think like I do with Scarf, meh. But out comes the Stunfisk, and on the Stunfisk, let's just see how much an Ice Punch does to a Stunfisk Mega. And then at +2 with Max. Ice Punch should be doing, and then how much would a Thunderbolt be doing? Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll just take 20% off of that thing and go into my Porygon 2. Here, I don't think Ice Beam would KO, so Yeah, not quite. We're just gonna need to recover off the damage here. But, he just goes into his Go Lurk. I can just easily get into my Tangrowth here. Drain Punch is fine. He takes a good amount. Do I just want to get up a layer of spikes here? It helps my calcs against multiple things, so I think that spiking up is good. He Ice Punches, so we can probably live another one. I'm just going to go for a Synthesis. And he can pretty much just tank. He can just keep taking damage off of me. He goes for another Ice Punch. We live. We don't freeze. And we can Synthesis. Okay. And then we do that again. And this thing is just pretty much freely taking chip. Yeah. Blaziken does wall me. He does go into that. Alright. I'm fine with that. Now, objective is to break his ability, and to do that I'm gonna need to go into something. The question is, what is that something? Porygon can do it fine. He goes for a Brave Bird and breaks his own Gale Wings. Here I'm just gonna teleport out. He Drain Punches me, that's fine. He is back at full now though. I can go out into my Hoopa and fire off an Ice Punch pretty freely. So he does have Gale Wings, but he chooses not to go for a flying move. He just Will-O-Wisps me instead. I did not realize that thing got Will-O-Wisp, but that's fine. I just realized that when I did not realize that this thing had Will-O-Wisp. No. We just Ice Punch, take out the Blaziken. He actually has a very free in to his Crustle here, and that worries me. What does he go into here is the question of the day. No. Okay, we're not gonna do that. He just goes out into the Crustle. I'm gonna get my Ice Punch off so that it is guaranteed just gonna die to a Flash Cannon. We're letting Hoopa go down here guaranteed. There's no way I can, rip simple. Same. Same exact circumstances. No simple. Wild Charge is a move that exists. I did not realize that Wild Charge exists, but does Tangrowth, what percent am I? I'm at 100, so can this Tangrowth tank a move, from a Crustle Delta Cake at +2 max attack. Can it take a play rough? Yeah, it can. Okay. Unless he's adamant. And if he's adamant, he could. I should have just gone Cinderace. What am I doing? I can just go for an Earth Power though. Play rough hits. He's not adamant. Okay, we take him out. Let's try to preserve some differential now. I still got a full fucking Flygon. The Stunfisk still is scaring the living shit out of me right now. But at least I can revenge it now. His entire team pretty much dies to Pyro Ball once the Stunfisk takes just a little more chip. And he just goes out into the Mime. I can pretty freely go out into my Empoleon on that thing. Or not. Okay. Offensive. I'm just gonna go for a Flash Cannon. There's no way you hit 2 Focus Blasts in a row. Life does not work that way. See what I mean? What do it do? If I say life does not work that way, you listen to me. So how much does a Mr. Mime Galar Focus Blast do to a... I'm just gonna say that is Focus Blast. Due to a regular Flygon. Not enough to KO, so he misses again, unfortunately for him. But I should just be able to Bug Buzz and then Earth Power twice, right? Bug Buzz 1. If I'm correct and Earth Power does do enough damage, then looks like we have a 5-0. If not, probably a 4-0. Because, okay, Golurk is fine. Probably just got like some priority move or something. Bullet Punch, yep. Has a Berry. Bullet Punch shouldn't KO though. He doesn't even go for it. Okay. And then Stunfisk, I'm not 100% sure if it survives. It does. Scalds me. Does burn, doesn't matter, is what I'm trying to say here. And we should pick up a 5-0 victory here to move to 4-0 plus 15. So we did do it. Let's just go ahead and download the replay to my Circuits Replays folder. But yeah, so probably one of the best starts I've had, possibly because my team is busted, but yeah, so that's all that I really have to say here. I think what I'm gonna do for this is just keep all of my teams. I like looking at this, just the way that it's changed. Week 1, week 2 is that insane Mr. Rhyme. Week 3, just putting in work everyone. That was a tight game. And then week 4, obviously this week. But yeah, okay. But until next time, Jesse504 out. Peace.